Hello, hello. I see one viewer, though I don't know if my audio is working. Hey there, can you say hi? I'm a little quiet? Okay, I'll try and talk a little louder. Thank you. Can you hear the game at all? I know it's kind of quiet. Hard to hear me over the background. Okay. So it's the game that's too loud. Is that better? Okay. Can you still hear the game audio okay? Alright, good. I sent David a message, and he should be hopefully showing up at some point. Hello, Action Shin. I'm just hanging out a little bit while I wait and get ready to do my first stream. Let me know if you can hear me okay, Action Shin. Oh, good. That part of OBS works. Here's where I'm at stats-wise, in case you're interested. And here's where I'm at story-wise. Oh, I forgot to go do that. Let's go deal with that. We'll go restock the traps. Because we got time to kill, and the cryptozoologist guy is funny. Oh, it looks like Action Chin is left here. The only one here now, Joe. Oh well. You get to be my first time viewer in chat, so that's fun. Hello, Alisadra. Welcome to the chat. Right now we have a bit of time to kill in game.
But they're still in there.
So we're just cleaning up some side quests. Whoops, that wasn't the one that was empty, it was the one down here.
Morel's trap stands empty. The locusts dazed from being transported. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Kim is probably my favorite character in the game. He just puts up with all kinds of crazy nonsense.
again.
Oh, I could go back to that computer to kill some time. The one in the first building. Just go ahead and pop in here and see what's going on with that computer. Now that we finally have the code for it. Oh. I forgot flashlight. Come on.
Yes?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? I thank you. And
Tiles on the cube are with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing. A piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Yeah, that's not
Fortress
investing.
Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts.
400,000 Rial for 18 people? Ooh, we're getting paid
And
for
a
all
single
these.
overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million Rial game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Wirral Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
Holy shit, that would be expensive.
The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Oh, that's great. That is perfect. Not sure if the math is right on this one, but it would be a ludicrous number like this.
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently. What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop? And that's it. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothing. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Always read the terms of service.
That's true. Always read the terms of service.
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred.
Especially if you're putting $400,000 down, definitely gotta read the contract.
It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree. She's right, actually. Nothing wrong with keeping this type of filament memory in a fridge. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it.
Very strange. Hello, danking around in Maddie and Son. If you can hear me, we're just having a chill stream, cleaning up some stuff before we go meet the person who has our gun.
Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine.
Got everything out of
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. This orange machine is dead still. You slip your fingers under the... No. This is going to need something else. Some kind of... If you want to try again, then you need to have the
Okay. That's right, I haven't gotten any upgrade to that yet. Always gotta have your tear bag out, just in case. You never know when you're gonna find good stuff to pick up off the ground and sell.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution. You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
You stirred up some bad memories there.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the idea for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston. But not while we have company.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you have to wait for at least a month.
I'm not gonna bother trying that. It said something about the address over by the church. When we were reading that printout, so let's go check that out. guess that would be over here, perhaps. Still no idea how to get up there. I mean, other than this ladder, but that doesn't seem very safe.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else?
Okay, maybe we gotta talk to her at the church then.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than somewhere on...
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can strange things may flourish.
There's this place...
The Pillar of Silence?
Maybe, but I know. No, I don't. Great, thanks.
So this is where it said to go, but she's got nothing new for us. Let's see what we can find by wandering around. Perhaps we need to interact with the giant gaping hole again.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious...
Nope, that's not it. Flashlight to help us see better. Okay. Maybe that was just to lead me here. As a way of finding them? I'm not sure. Finding things out of sequence is weird. Kuno had mentioned he kicked the helmet into the sea, and I got a prompt over here last time about this being a good hiding spot for something. But then I never really got a prompt to get the helmet. Might as well go back to the Whirling Rags and talk to Titus and deliver the good news about the trap, and then try and find something else to do from there. Actually, I haven't talked to these guys with Kim here. Maybe this could be interesting.
Abigail.
There's no use.
The drunk man. Stop. He does not sound...
Don't call.
Hey, David. How was the gym?
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness anyway.
Slowly, but that's to be expected.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes. Oh. You see, friend, man makes his own luck. And I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor exquise. Sold 2 to the fellows around here and immediately invested the profit.
That's good. Jill says I need a mic as soon as possible. Also, you know you can type in the chat instead of just texting me.
Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook.
The hook? Where is it? I can't see it.
Of course, of course, of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people.
He has long forgotten what you were talking about.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend. The legend! He's
I already
back!
talked to that guy.
Tequila Sunset. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty 2-piece Lycra tracksuit?
This guy calls me Tequila Sunset because I crashed my vehicle into the sea very near them and wandered over to them screaming, "I'm Tequila Sunset."
I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunk.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Yep, I was literally thinking the thing that it says that I'm about to say. Because I just found that jacket at random.
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style. It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket. Someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift. Not much, but it will do. The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Koran.
Yeah, that's probably the case. I probably need to set a noise gate is part of what the problem is. So we can go ahead and try and do that now. Oh, no, I do have a noise gate. Yeah, I notice it spiking when I breathe out my nose a little bit. That's partially because the mic is right next to my face, because it sort of has to be in order to hear me at all. Let me see if I can fix. Oh. Why does it register my breathing as louder than my voice? That's what I don't understand. I guess I am quiet. That's weird.
There are many
I don't feel like I'm
variations
being
on the
quiet. I feel
basic
like I'm talking
story,
loud.
and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Okay. We will get the mic.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She
Actually,
stops
yes,
for
it
a
kind of
cigarette
is.
near the
Hold on.
canal.
Is that better? Because I wasn't using the headset for sound in my own ears.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
Well, it's not picking up my breathing anymore, so that's fine. At least I don't think it is. It's not showing me that it's picking up my breathing anymore. You'll probably want to get the microphone. Officially.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
Oof. Oh, wait, no. 21st. That's not that bad.
What? No, I told you this is a Martinez legend, with no head on his shoulders. Wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man. Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude
Headless
Head
rider
had
on
to endure years of psychotherapy
Flawless.
before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again.
Now I want to make it
And she's one of the
D&D monster.
lucky ones.
Headless. Head.
Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless found rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it.
I read the case file.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods while...
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something. Her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck.
Jill? Jill had said that earlier, but guess I could turn.
But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless found rider looming on the horizon.
The game doesn't sound loud to me, but that's because it's coming out of my speakers. Speakers very low, but OBS definitely shows the game coming out very loud. So I guess it's a more. Am I cutting out at all, David? It looked like my voice just cut out a couple times. Maybe this audio mixer.
Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless found rider and that she ran, fearing for her life.
Okay, yeah, that can sometimes happen with noise gating programs. They drop the last syllable sometimes, so that could be something to worry about.
During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story.
Just drop the open threshold a little bit more. Hopefully that'll stop cutting things out. Okay.
No, She committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
No. Fucking Gomer Pyle.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well. Here's to another case closed. Anyway, that's the story of the Headless Foul Rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated.
Oh, Headless brother.
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline. Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All pieces. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories? No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Kim is the best.
Okay, let's step aside.
Oh, Kim wants to.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style. It's, well, a little eclectic, don't you think? How would you even describe what you're wearing? Well, I can't say it doesn't fit you. Still, you might try branching out a little. You know the expression, the clothes make the man. The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the cave.
Okay. All that I can't drink. That thing. I guess I am wearing. But they all help my stats in some way that I like. Kim can fuck off in that regard. Still nowhere near either of those. I feel like I need a final thought. Time to pick something else to upgrade. I haven't put any. We might as well. There's enough physical instrument checks in the game that it makes it good. Ah, yes, mod mode is interesting, isn't it, David? You can see all the things. Also, welcome back. Also, here's that motor carriage that I drove into the ocean. This is where I found my police ID. Walk past this. Okay, boardwalk. Okay. Oh yeah, you were there for that. That was probably one of my favorite parts, because you had to wait for the tide to come in, and so you just got to sit there and talk with Kim for a whole while. Where did her husband go? I had found the cryptozoologist woman's husband, but...
Good to see a familiar face. Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is wearing. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say. Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Yes.
That
Take it on
really
with
is too
enthusiasm
much,
yet again.
sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How? I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then. It's
Oh, I had a thought, David.
a strange
Because the
feeling.
way your stats play into
I
this
haven't
game,
really told this to anyone, but
like the higher your empathy and
you are a
suggestion
police
and
officer.
Visual calculus and encyclopedia and rhetoric and conceptualization and violation and all of that, the higher they are, the more they show up in conversation like that, where it just like gave me like easy success and it gave me a bit of extra information. I've been thinking it kind of reminds me of playing Everyone as John, where people's random voices chime in.
And when a police
And
officer asks,
I feel like
you must answer.
this game's mechanics might be adaptable into a tabletop game pretty easily, where you can make more like a free-from story where everyone's sort of playing a specific aspect of the character.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Well, the good news is my mute button works, because I've coughed a couple times and that doesn't seem to have been picked up by OBS.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years his belief.
That I am a queen? An extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just...
The lieutenant opens his notebook. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit.
Yeah, we definitely gotta try
An
this.
acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care. All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
This right here. This choice. Oh boy. Yeah, your character has an ex-wife, and sometimes when you think about her, you take, like, actual damage, like physical heart attack levels of damage.
But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? No, the thing is...
Ooh, I forgot that's a thing I could go try and do again,
I
is
was
call
a
her again.
paraplegic before we met.
I randomly figured out
He
her
didn't
phone
know
number at
before
one
I
point.
arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with it. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
I'm not sure here. 1, 2, or 3.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
of
think that
anything.
sounds the best.
Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Gas-powered wheelchair. That sounds awesome.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream.
Or Kim.
Take it from me and Morel.
No one can stop you from finding the phasmid.
Okay. It's 1113 Tabernacle Road.
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
dream. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Ooh, I can do that.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. Nothing, as before, just black branches.
What's this weirdo cop?
I think he's trying to find dirt on us.
Wow, no. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, because they like to sniff around in there.
That's another thing that I like about this game, is that even though I failed that check and I did take some morale damage, but still got experience for it, they really don't like punish you much for failing checks and things like that. And I think I have another check I can do. with my
It's
ledger.
the ledger you found
Yep.
in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120117000, the next world mural. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. Harrier Dubois, HDB. That's comforting to hear. Now, detective, it takes half an hour to piece one of these together, if you still want to. Here are
Ooh,
your
good
options.
news. Somebody's car alarm went off outside. My mic didn't pick it up. Yeah, the pole extension is a little strange. I just set one, but I don't see where it actually shows up as an overlay. Is it supposed to pop up as an overlay? But it doesn't look like it's actually showing up anywhere. Oh, you can see it? That's weird. It doesn't show up on the screen for me as the poll. If you can see the poll, David and Jill, can you go ahead and try voting in it? And then let me know once you have. Yep. Yeah, most other people have a stream bot for it so they can do it in the chat. Okay, but for some reason I can't see the poll on my end. Very, very strange. Yes, we do. But they don't have a dedicated poll for that. I would like to grab Nightbot at some point. I just need to figure out how.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class.
Wreak
People
havoc
call
on the
it
middle
that
class.
thing and
Eat the rich.
that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done? AKA Leslie and
Yeah,
Bert. AKA
apparently in
the public
drunken
indecency
forgetfulness
drunk
he
and
tried
the
to flush
property
his
damage
ledger
drunk
down the
is a cursed
toilet
case.
several times.
It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just
it wouldn't flush because it's like a
is their
hard-cased,
nature. You cannot
like,
change the
clipboard
nature of a man,
ledger.
and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property
So
damage
he ended up
are not
throwing it away in
punishable
a
by
garbage
incarceration.
thing outside.
The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop. As they hadn't stopped, it's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Yeah, I do definitely want to get a little bit more comfortable with this.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage.
I'm fine with
the
staying
compartment
super
within,
small for right
reserved
now.
for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
Because I have OBS closer to the screen that I'm playing the game on, and then I can't see the chat. It's very far away. So I can see the chat a little bit better in my periphery.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore, can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? It would be very interesting to read
Best
about
way to
these,
deal with drunk and
wouldn't it?
disorderlies. Be
I mean,
more drunk and
there seems to be
disorderly.
a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up. Also, who knows? Those pages are missing. Don't worry. One day. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Murder. Tum-tum-tum. At the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead. Of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah, beaten to death by a throng of Villa Lobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer.
Oh, thanks for that, David.
No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you see? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
So does that mean this is JB?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window.
Okay,
The
need to
hall-
level up perception again before.
It's you again. What is it? And
So this collection of guys are the murderers. They basically already admitted to it, but there's still something that they're hiding because there's another member that we don't know where that member is. And yeah, the portraits in this game are really good.
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens, jaw sets, ready for another blow.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape. Dark. Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her.
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Oh yeah. There's a whole list of them. Not a lot of them are enabled for the channel though, because I don't have channel points or anything yet. And also I don't have a way to do YouTube music playing, which is a good thing at this point because Twitch has changed their TOS around a bit, so I would need to find a way to have that record separately from the rest of the audio so that the VOD doesn't get copyright claimed.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore. Right. Oh, fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Yeah, they're all queers. Can't bump, hard fist, or anything.
It's all right, Glenn. I just thought, I thought anyone would come around if they heard that shit.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
He wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonise.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now. I already told you. We fucking hanging.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired.
You know what? I am tired. Next time you see her, tell her that lying, scamming. We're done. This is over.
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is...
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough. 100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
No, go the other way so I can see all the different things I got from being good at the game. Ah, damn you, menu. Damn. There's a lot of plus ones. Let's go for it.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Just remember, it's about more than Glacia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
Huh?
He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right? Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
The spiciness. They admitted to a murder they didn't do. Oh yeah, Twitch is being very uptight about copyright sound. They have to be. Just like YouTube has to be, because they don't want to get sued out of existence and lose the platform that's making them tons of money. So it's smart for them, logically, business-wise. It sucks, like, as a content creator. Because you can have copyrighted music playing live on your stream, because, like, if you own it on your computer or, like, pay for Spotify and things like that, like, you can play it, and you can play it just like you could play it at a party, but if you don't have a way to separate out the audio when you go to upload the VOD, to Twitch so that people can watch your streams later or put it on YouTube, that's when you'll get a copyright strike, and if you get 3 strikes, they can take out your channel, just like YouTube.
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler?
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Evrard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Oh yeah, and there's actually there's a thing that Twitch makes that is basically like a Pandora radio kind of thing. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's basically like a Pandora radio, and it has a special extension for OBS, so that if you're using the Twitch one for your music, then it'll record the audio separately for both for you.
What just happened between these two?
I've got it set up, but this game doesn't really need background music. It's a good, just chill out game, in my opinion. Also, hello, new person.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
In a manner of speaking. We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it.
Goodbye, new
For
person.
political reasons. It sent a good message.
I went from 2 to 3 to 2. I guess they didn't want to be called out as new person, but I can't tell who the users in my new users in my chat are. Because for some reason it shows me everyone. Oh well.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your...
A little too far there, but you're definitely...
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. We're Hardy Boys, and that's it. Nope, you're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Yeah. I'm guessing it would have been the new, the bottom one, Sophia Fox.
He nods.
You hang the corpse to cover up the real cause of death.
We're not sure. Probably a bullet.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl...
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Oh. And there was newly replaced window in her, not apartment, hotel room.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business. You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. They're powerful. Connected to the Morlin turn. She's clearly a...
And why would you help someone like that?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Me too. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either her...
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad... Tell you what I do.
Ooh.
Check out the coast for vantage points.
Interesting.
Maybe
Love
consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with...
He's calm now, threw all that turmoil away, and became himself again.
You do that. Hey, she... Klausya came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go.
Still, after all this headache...
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Okay. I'm way more on the Union side now. That I've gone through all that. Because they're just covering up to try and help her. And a couple of hours ago to talk to Claudia again. Well, yeah, even figuring out that the Hardy Boys did it wasn't really as straightforward as it seemed. Because there were like no leads, and then basically the Union guys just admitted to it. But yeah, here's the window.
This window is pristine.
Looks like it, yes.
Oh, I really want to get into that door now. How much longer is my physical instrument going to be repaired? 57 minutes in. Okay. So probably after this conversation.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
If you knew we would find out eventually, what?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
Yeah, I feel like this is in character.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, a grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't...
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
We were there. Together. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open.
A great pain moves through her.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
Yeah, probably better
He was
not
heavy.
mention that.
I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact...
It's okay. Were you in...
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other...
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
And, more perception. Oh,
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. When he was shot, I may have. I don't know.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they...
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy?
Why not?
Does she also party with Ruby, however?
No.
Still, there is something there. She won't tell you now.
interesting.
Well,
At least we have a
Ruby
name
said
now.
let's talk
We
upstairs.
can go hit Titus with the
I
name.
showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity.
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
Yep. I knew it. New task. Make Titus give up Ruby's location.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat...
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could...
Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer, and it makes you sweat.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called...
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
What? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me.
It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. She simply shakes her head.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. Like what? It's not nice, but it's not illegal.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired.
The job was Lou's-Doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was asked to who hired me for the job. I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. Sure, I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. That's the first thing that went through my head when I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Or, I don't know anything anymore.
We can't go after Lou's cap. Not yet.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one...
She nods, silently. He's thinking. Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming. with sordid detail. You've been breached, Bulwark. You've been breached like 1,000, so you say. But give us one example of deceit. Just one example. Who is this personhood picking? Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now. As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all. If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft palate. You do not know. A wind of needles. Airships flutter in the stratosphere. Who knows? It's getting cold out. You should go. She's silent. Remember this silence. The lady is... It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced. Easier that way. I don't know.
There's a nod. The smallest of nods.
Oh, is that thought really not done yet? 10 minutes. Click on the doormat on the inside, click on the door on the out. Let's do what our visual calculus suggested and
This
look at
window
this.
is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from a vague sense of disappointment fills you. You get the feeling this room would tell you something crucial if you only knew how to live.
I'm not exactly sure either, to be honest. My imagine it's a weakness.
Hmm.
Six crumbling petals.
As I said, an Insulindian lily, or a maybell.
The petals filled. The worn mat features that your finger moves, finally coming to a halt on the...
You're wasting time.
A cockatoo is a... This book talks about that this is a... Ooh. Despite its banging name, perhaps, in the words of poet explorer, it must be glorious.
There we go.
Wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
Ah, shit. Hmm. Oh well. That's not the worst. -1. Better than the -2 it was before. Gonna be nice. This one.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Nope. Not getting through this door anytime soon.
You kick it. Gung-ho.
All right. Let's trash the
Let's not.
Oh well. Let's go try and find my gun. Yeah. Nice armor back on. Now we just gotta run out to the meeting place. Hopefully they'll get my gun back and then I can report that to the police station. Kim can be proud of me. I have my badge and gun back. Maybe I'll get to stab someone with this sword. I thought the travel would take more time. Oh well.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bit. Life is garbage. You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. In the middle of it. Calling, calling. Put it down before it's too late. Please. Calling, 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 calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Calling, calling.
Harry, please.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
But should I do it again though? Nah. Oh, have a good night, David. Since the travel to the boardwalk basically takes like no time, might as well go back. Talk to Titus. Shouldn't take more than a bit of... Oh, you know what? Maybe the fucking helmets are...
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? You and the... Think about the seagull's story. Then their paradise became... No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters. Just like you. Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
Okay. Sure. Emotionally becomes I was wrong about the helmet being over here. Oh well. Since I adjusted the way I've got my headset, Jill, has the audio gotten any worse again, or has it continued to stay okay?
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna...
And fuck you too!
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation...
That's nothing. That's just legalese.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back. Nothing is happening. The pieces of... Sorry, you're not coming up with anything. Still nothing. Let's look at this. His wife left him. He needs to kill himself. Make her sorry she did.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's sad, man. But why are you...
No. That's his concentration phase.
Here you go. Access to the roof, weapon, and motive. That's not too... For starters, you could find out what's behind that mystery door in the kitchen. If it's a secret route, she could have used that to get to the roof.
That's good. I do, guess I can turn the game down a little bit more. It feels like I've turned it down a lot, but...
Can't get through the door. You know what would help. Doing a thorough search of this room. Maybe something's hidden. Hey, did someone say something already? No? Yes? There's a spooky building west of this. Take a flashlight with you. You could crack Classia's last defenses. Maybe she'll tell you it's that simple.
Unless we have more business.
Okay.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Ooh, that's some good bonuses for remembering my birth year. Oh, I need. Anything new I can talk to Kim about?
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his class. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what... That's right. Good.
Yeah, but I don't really want the game to be too quiet.
The trap is for poor things. The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak. Poor thing.
Cool, we hit the time. This will be the last thing I do. Just try and get my gun back. What the fuck?
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerate.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying a...
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might...
The situation looks bad. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect alert!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big... It's the goddamn police shitbag! Have the pavement!
As she waves her hands, You notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer, a lower-ranking police officer.
What? Sir?
In this moment of hesitation, she almost doesn't seem disturbed, but like someone suddenly waking from a deep sleep.
Easy. Press her too hard.
Too late. With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slapped.
Officer compromised!
Okay, she's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Alright, let's go ahead and try it.
Here's the plan. You jerk left, dash right, close the distance, and cut her hand off. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Huh? My God, I think you're right.
What? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. Police gun throwers have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks. Grab the gun. Right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore.
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out.
Please, leave the radio on.
She stands motionless, just a heap of... The woman stands slumped. Is one of those things, there were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. Do. She doesn't even flinch, as...
Oh,
it's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. The lieutenant nods. The old woman doesn't react to your... You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as...
You're taking those, are you?
Listen to him, for once.
Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the...
He's grateful you did this.
Awesome. Got my gun back. I've got 1 bullet. Alright, I think I'm going to call this a night. Thank you for everyone who came, hang out. If anyone's here who I don't know, and for whatever reason just hasn't felt like talking, that's fine. Feel free to drop a follow. I'll be here again 10 to 12 tomorrow night.